On the phone with us now, Florida Republican Senator Marco Rubio says that people need to heed the governor's warning. Those 1.5 million the governor has told, especially within the path of this storm, to get out. Senator Rubio, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, so a couple points. There are obviously two things that are happening. There are some people that don't need to move. They just need to stay in their homes and not be in the streets. And then there are others that live in areas that are calling for evacuations. Obviously, very typical of that is mobile homes, some of the coastal areas, places that are flooded, and those people need to heed those warnings. And by and large, we're seeing that. There are a couple of Florida counties on the Treasure Coast where there are still some resistant, reluctant people who do not want to leave their mobile homes. But mobile homes, quite frankly, are not built to withstand a category anything hurricane. So really, people should not be staying there. And hopefully, if they're watching this broadcast now, they'll reconsider their decision not to do so, because they put our first responders at great risk of having to respond if there's a problem to come out and save.
You know, Senator, a lot of them were emailing me saying, well, we'd love to leave, but I don't know whether what exactly roadway they were referring to. It could have been 95 or the Florida Turnpike, but it was gone to a halt. The traffic wasn't going anywhere, and they hear these stories about gas stations running out of gas, and they didn't want to be trapped. What do you tell them?
Well, first of all, in many of these counties, Palm Beach, Martin, St. Lucie, the emergency officials in those counties are still in the process of picking people up who are in circumstances. And all of these counties have a 311 system that you can call, and so many of them are also now opening up 911 to those calls. But in essence, having people come over and get you if you need to be at the last minute evacuated, that clock and that time frame is shortened rather quickly. I can tell you traffic is actually flowing quite well in most of our interstates, including I-95 and so forth. Tolls have been waived on all the major highways. Most of the people are heeding the advice to stay home. So there's still time to get out, but I can just tell you here in a couple hours that window will have closed, and these people are going to get stuck in a very difficult situation if indeed the storm continues on the track that it's on. So we're trying to do everything we can to encourage those folks to move.
You know, maybe the reluctance is coming on the part, you usually think of, older folks who don't want to leave their home or find it a huge inconvenience. But we're hearing a lot of younger people, too, for whom this is sort of like a generational anomaly, I guess. There hasn't been a hurricane that hit Florida now in the better part of a decade. So for them, this sounds like a lot of, weather saber rattling. What do you say to them, those who doubt that this will amount to much?
Well, I think all they need to do is look at the forecast, and they can see where the storm is headed. And so in some places, like where I live in Miami-Dade County, we're going to have some tropical storm winds. But for the most part, unless you live in a really unsafe place, people can just stay home, stay off the roads. But if you live anywhere north of Palm Beach County, all the way up to Jacksonville, and even into Central Florida, they need to take this very, very seriously. This is not a small storm. This is a big storm of Category 4. It brings with it a lot of rain. It's going to create a lot of havoc and damage. You're going to be without power in many of these areas for days after the storm. So you really cannot take it lightly. There's no reason to saddle raver. Look, I know saber rattle. I mean, there's no reason to do that. I can tell you the people that do this first response work in Florida are the best in the world because of experience. Having gone through this before, they know what they are saying, and there is a reason why they are asking people in certain places to do certain things.
Real quickly, I know you got to go, Senator, but there's a possibility that this thing skirts the coast, just never hits land. Obviously, does quite a bit of damage, still as a Category 4 storm, but actually turns around again and hits again. How do Floridians prepare for that? Because this could be something that'll be around a while.
Well, yeah, I mean, I've seen some of those ensemble models that are available there on the website, and we don't want to think that far away. I mean, let's get through the next few days here, and then we'll see what happens. That's still far out in the future, and those models can shift. I've seen the model that have it turn around, but in essence, even if that were true, we would be doing what we're doing now, which is getting ready. And so let's get through this the next couple days here, obviously, and then if there's more to be done next week, we'll figure that out. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. But right now, it's a good day for people in Broward and Dade County to just stay home, and Palm Beach County and other places really heed the warnings to evacuate. You're running out of time here. You've probably got another hour and a half to make a move here before it gets very difficult to get out.
Good words of warning. Senator Rubio, thank you for taking the time. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Senator Marco Rubio in Florida. Of course, you Floridians listening in the affected areas, you heard him. You've heard all of these reports. I think it's incumbent to be on the safe side and get out. You can debate whether those reports are accurate, maybe tomorrow. But for now, get out. All right, we're already seeing that this is way beyond just Florida. Now, a lot of you who tune in from the unaffected areas say, well, why are they going wall to wall with this? Well, leaving aside the fact that this is a state of some 20 million people and that it could affect, if it goes up the entire East Coast, as is a distinct possibility, 1/3 the U.S. population, it is already affecting gas prices. It is already affecting air travel. So just look around. With the hub and spoke system being what it is for air travel today, chances are if you're waiting for a plane in California, it will be delayed because of what's happening there. Stick around.